this is a great thing that you're doing, Dr. Nikki. So if anybody out there wants to connect with me, you can definitely find me on Instagram most of the time. That's where I spend a lot of my time on social media. And my handle is Dr. Ebony Online. Dr. Ebony Online. And I love to connect with you out there.
And that's DrEbonyOnline.
Yes.
Okay. All righty. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm already following her. So, listen, I'm on every single week, live on alldigitalradio.com. First, I do politics between 12 and 2 p.m. That's live every single Saturday. And then I do 4 hours for the weekly Top 40 from 6 to 10 p.m. every single Saturday also, where we count down the top 40 tracks on the LGBT urban charts. That's where I'm at. You can always hit me up at Just Do Dirty, whether it's on Twitter, Instagram, either which way. I'm there. I'm tweeting along and staying active. So that's really it. And listen, I definitely look forward to having some more gay M&Ms with everyone.
I look forward to that too. I got to get me some gay M&Ms. Alfredo? Oh,
sorry. No, I'm here. Yeah. So for me, I would say mostly I'm just on social media. I do a lot of projects here and there. Right now, I'm doing a fundraising calendar for the SF/AIDS Foundation. So if you go to dragbikequeens.com, you'll see me in all my full drag glory. And that's a fundraiser.
In now.
What's that? Yeah.
Typing in now.
Yeah, see, dragbikequeens.com. That's a calendar that I put out for fundraising. We do I'm also host of a bi-monthly party in the Bay Area called Sucia. It's a queer Latinx party. And all our proceeds go to queer POC organizations. Our next one is July 7th. So if you're in the Bay Area, San Francisco specifically, we have a taco truck, we have paletas, we have drag queens, we have dancers, and the money's going to go to the Transgender Law Center. And then so if you want to follow me on social media, Twitter is Alfie Debates. That's ALFIE DBATES, Alfie Debates. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, just for fun, pictures, and here and there political messages, Sequined Muscles, my Instagram handle.
Love it. Jude, you want to say anything? What are you doing here in the Houston area?
I float in and out of spaces so much. Probably the in terms of I should preface with saying that I'm like a grandpa when it comes to social media, so I have like no public persona really. But one thing that has like somewhat of a Facebook presence, I co-founded a group called the Collective of Houston Asian Americans, CHA, and it's specifically a queer Asian American group in Houston. And so I think we're still trying to find our treading, but it's I think Ebony was speaking to it earlier about trying to nurture spaces where she can be and bring in all of herself. And I think that's kind of that's kind of what we're interested in doing with CHA, and trying to figure out how can we do that better for the Asian American community here in Houston, the Asian American queer community here in Houston, but also once we get a little bit more footing in that, hopefully that brings in sort of a collective power of how we can also do better solidarity work with other communities of color. So I think that's the main thing. I'm joining, and I don't think it's like super official yet, but I'm sure they'll appreciate the press. I'm beginning to join in with a group called Project Curate. That's also here in Houston.
Yay! I didn't know you were doing Project Curate. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, like I hope they don't, decide they're going another direction, and then this is kind of awkward. But I'll be joining them in the fall. It's a group that, is started, focused on like spirituality and kind of social justice work, and I think in recent years has really focused in on racial justice. Has a lot of like I think has a really good blended white-black leadership. And I think they're beginning to think about how to build out kind of the API Asian American piece. So I'll be joining in to kind of help stretch that out a little bit more. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I do know that they've been, like talking about religious spiritual spaces, it's hard to find a lot of space for folks who fall somewhere in the umbrella or spectrum of like the LGBTQ plus community. So I know that there's like intention of growing more in that area as well. So pretty excited to be doing that work. So awesome. I'm sure you can find them by Googling Project Curate as well. So yeah.
Yes. Again, I just want to tell you guys, I so appreciate your time and energy and willingness to be present in this conversation. I'm really interested to get feedback from the listeners. I hope that this has been as informative and enlightening for you as it has been for me. One of the things that we've been doing here on Doobie Deep with Dr. Nikki is giving you all hashtag mental health homework. And this week's hashtag mental health homework is to be clear about what your identities are and what your agenda is. How do you show up in the world in living in authenticity with those agendas? And if there are pieces of yourself that you aren't fully nurturing or paying attention to, it may be a good time to do some reflection on why that is and what you want to do to change that direction. So as always, you can tweet us at Dr. Nikki Knows, DrNikkikikNOWS. That's on Instagram and Twitter as well. You can find us in both spaces. And then you can find at All About Tomas, because what it is
all about Tomas.
I love it. I hope everybody has a lovely weekend, and I look forward to connecting with you again next week. Until then, peace.
This summer, Saturdays on alldigitalradio.com. Exclusive new shows just for you, from music to talk. It all starts at 8 a.m. with DJ Sosei spinning through the decade. At 10 a.m. is the Artist on the Bubble live playlist. It's the LGBT playlist you gotta check out. At 12 p.m., everybody, it's the Just Do Dirty show. DJ's got you covered with all the news and politics of the day. 2 p.m. is the Chris Avalon show. It's the Pied Piper of entertainment and gossip. At 4 p.m., the Comedy Rec show with Henry and Keith. At 6 p.m., it's the weekly Top 40. That's right, the top 40 tracks on the LGBT urban charts, counted down live. At 10 p.m. is the Eddie Royce show. Every single Saturday, live on all digital radio apps.